Good afternoon to one and all. I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today, in this video lecture, I am going to explain about the other two methods in the tooth thickness measurement, that is the constant chord method and the base tangent method. In the earlier class, we have discussed about the tooth thickness measurement by gear tooth vernier, and today's class we are going to see some more measurements, and this is my 42nd lecture regarding to the subject metrology. So next type of measurement is the constant chord type, that is the gear tooth thickness measurement by the constant chord method. So in the gear tooth vernier caliper method, it is seen that both the chord thickness and the chord addendum are dependent upon the number of teeth. So based upon the number of teeth in the addendum circle, we are going to measure this. But hence for measuring a large number of gears, for set each having different number of teeth, that would involve separate calculations. So thus the procedure becomes very hard, that is very laborious and time consuming one. So it also takes some time to eradicate that. And the constant chord method does away with these difficulties. So what are the disadvantages or some more complex situations offered by the constant chord method? So the constant chord of a gear is measured where the tooth flanks touch the flanks of the basic rack. So that should touch the flanks of the basic rack, and the teeth of the rack are to be straight and inclined to their center lines at the pressure angle. So on the pressure angle, they need to be inclined, and from the teeth of the rack, they are to be straightened. So here in the picture you can see the base circle. So this is the base circle in which it has a parallel line, that is the pitch circle. So you can see the circuit, and this is the tooth to be measured. These are the gear tooth which is to be measured. So this should lie at the center of the lines. So also the pitch line of the rack is to be tangential, so which is in the perpendicular direction, that is to be tangential to the pitch circle of the gear. And by definition, the tooth thickness of the rack along this line is equal to the arc tooth thickness of the gear around its pitch circle. So around the pitch circle, you can find the addendum circle also. This to be tangential. Now, since the gear tooth and the rack space are in constant way, so that is in the constant position, which is in the symmetrical position at the points of contact of the flanks. So that is the symmetrical position at the point of contact of the flanks. The chord is constant at this position, irrespective of the gear of the system in mesh with the rack. This is the property which is utilized in the constant chord section, which is in the method of gear measurement. So you have to check it in the gear measurement profile also. And the measurement of these two thickness at the constant chord simplified the problem for all number of teeth. So by using the chord section, we are going to use and utilize it. So if an involved tooth is considered symmetrically in closed mesh with a basic rack form, so that is in the basic rack form, then it will be observed that regardless of the number of teeth for a given size of tooth. So you have to take the same module for the given section of teeth, and then you have to take the chords which is defined in the circle. So that is the basic step. So that is the basic step you have to take while measuring a gear tooth. Then AB is known as the constant chord. So in the previous, so this is the AB position which is known as constant chord. So this AB is defined to be the constant chord position. Then the constant chord is defined as the chord joining those points on opposite faces. So that is which are joining on the opposite faces of the tooth. So through this curve, which makes contact with the mating teeth, where the center lines of the tooth lies on the line of the gate center. So these lie on the center line of these gourd centers. So that is defined to be the constant chord position. Next, the value of this AB, that is the constant chord, is taken to account, which is it is depth is for the tip. So its depth for the tip when it occurs can be calculated mathematically and then verified by an instrument. This is verified by an instrument. And the advantage of the constant chord method is that for all number of teeth, value of these constant chord is same. So for all the gear tooth, the constant chord is to be same at all the positions. And in other words, the value of the constant gird is constant for all gears of a meshing system. So when two gears is used to be mesh, that is equal for that. Then secondly, it readily lends itself to form a comparator. So when you are going to measure it with a comparator, also it is more sensitive than the gear tooth vernier caliper. So by using a plunger or a probe to measure the tooth thickness, they have to verify the chord method also. By using the chord method, they used to rectify it. So first of all, they were taking the PD. So this is the PD section, which is half of the amount of the chord, and 1 by 4th of the circular pitch. So we are taking it as RPF, that is half into circular pitch, that is 1 by 4th of pi into pitch circle diameter divided by n. So that is to be calculated at the pitch circle diameter. So which is the quarter part of the pitch circle divided by the number of tooth. So number of tooth. Then since line AP is the line of action, it is tangential to the base circle. So generally this pitch circle is tangential to the base circle. So by using this formula, we got this. Therefore, psi is the angle in right angle triangle APD, in which PD cos phi is equal to pi by 4th part of the m cos phi. So from the triangle, you will observe all these points. So note it for a while. So note the calculation of the constant chord method. Then we will go to the next method, that is base tangent method. So you have to take the values for the dedendum also, dedendum circle also. So for the helical gear also you have to take the depth. So by measurement of the so also height of the above pitch line, that is PC is equal to pi m by 4 cos psi 6 sin psi. So that is to be represented as, so that is pi m by 8 into sin of 2 psi. That is the value. So in total we get it as pi m by 8 into sin 2 psi. So that is the sin 2 psi length. So this is the constant chord method. So in this constant chord method, we use it to take the same chord for all their tooths. Next one is the base tangent method. So it is also called as David Brown tangent comparator method because we use it by measuring the tangent comparator only, that is David Brown tangent comparator. So in this method, the span of the convenient number of teeth is measured with the help of the tangent comparator. So by the use of the tangent comparator, that is David Brown tangent comparator, we are going to measure the span of a convenient number of teeth. So this method uses a single vernier caliper and has following advantages of the bare tooth vernier, which uses two vernier scales. So this method uses the two vernier scales. So the measurements does not depend on the two vernier readings, each being function of the other. So that depends on the other reading. The measurement is not made with an angle of the measuring jar with the face. So that is not made with the face of the measuring jar, and we are assuming to be it as the measuring jar. So consider a straight generator. So that is the ABC form. So this is the straight line ABC in which you have to be fixed on the edge of the gear tooth, ABC being rolled back and forth along a base circle, that is on the base circle. So this is the straight line which is on the base circle. So you have to take the point from those base circle. So this is the generation of pair of inverts by a common generator. So this is the common generator point which is as taken as the tangent for the base circuit. So it ends then sweep of opposite involutes, that is A point, A1 point and A2 point. So we are taking that, and next B is the center, and next point is the C2, C and C1 respectively. So those are the 3 points. Then we have to take measurements across these sections, that is the opposite involutes, by the span gauging will be constant, that is AC is equal to the original points is equal to the A1 C1 and A2 C2 and A0 C0. So these are all the constant points. then it is equal to the arc length of the base circle between the origins of involutes. So this is equal to the origin of involutes. So for the positions of the measuring faces is unimportant as they are long and parallel to the opposite pair of involutes. So they should be long and parallel to the opposite pair of true involutes, as the tooth form is mostly like to conform. So this tooth form is used to mostly conform to a true involute at the pitch of the point of the gear. That is the pitch point of the gear. It is always preferable to choose the number of teeth in the measurement, which makes approximately, that is the approximate measurements is to be made at the pitch circle of the gate. So these approximate has to be done. Next, the value of these distance between the two opposite involutes or the dimension over the parallel faces is equal to the distance around the base circle. So then it is to be derived mathematically. So the faces to be the basic point here. So we have taken a circle ABC, so that is to be equal to all the other proportions of the opposite ends, that is opposite involutes. We are taking the opposite here. So this is the circle we have taken ABC, and these are the other ends, that is A1, A2, and C1, C2. And let's say that the gear has W number of teeth and AC on the pitch circle, which corresponds to the S number of teeth. So that is S number of teeth. Therefore, distance AC is equal to S minus half. That is 1 by 2 of the. Then therefore, angle subtended by the AC position, that is AC is equal to S minus 1 by 2, that is pitching in 2 pi n by radians. Then arc of the angles, that is angles of arc BE and BD has been taken. So that is BE and BD has been taken. So the angles of the two involute function of the pressure angle is taken as sigma is equal to tan psi by minus psi. Next, we have to take the angle of the arc BD, which is half of the proportionate of the S, that is S minus half. So therefore, we have to take the two elements by substituting the angle BD, that is S minus half into 2 pi into n plus tan psi minus psi. So nm cos psi into, that is pi s by n. So tan psi minus psi. So these are to be eliminated. Next, we have already defined the length of the arc, the distance between the two opposite involutes, and thus it is nm. So these tables are also available, which directly give this value for the given values of S, N, and M. So the distance is first calculated, and then it is in the calculated in the tangent comparator. So that is called as David-Brown comparator. Then the instrument essentially consists of a fixed anvil, So there is a micrometer on the moving anvil side, and this has a very limited movement on either side of the setting. So that is used to be moved on the either side of the settings. And this distance is adjusted by setting the fixed anvil at desired place and keep the help of looking ring and setting the tubes. So the distance is adjusted by setting the fixed anvil at the desired place, that is at the help of looking ring and setting tubes. So this is the tangent base circle and the fixed anvil here. Here you have to be measure this gear tooth. So next one is the tangential gear tooth caliper. These are the applications. So it is utilized for the measuring variations on the basic tooth profile from the outside diameter of the spar gear